Which investor makes sense of financial jargon? Should more be done to protect and educate consumers before they are sold complex financial products?
Today, we have Mr. Tan Kin Lian, the former chief of insurance company NTUC Income, and Mr. Mohd Salim, chief executive of First Principle Financial and Independent Financial Advisory Company. Let me start with you, Salim.
Yes.
I would like to, the first point really is who should take responsibility for this issue? Should it be the investors? Should it be the banks? Or should it be the regulator at the MAS?
Yeah, I guess at this point in time, now that things have happened, and everybody wants to point a finger at somebody. You know, one would say that I wasn't told. The other party will say that I have said everything in the disclaimer. And so you have this thing going on throughout. But I guess if you look back again, I feel that this has come about primarily because of the trust and relationship that's been built up over the years. I think if you look back at the banks in our forefather days, we always look at the bank as being reputable, solid, and most importantly, trustworthy. So Singaporeans have got very good impression of our banks now here. And you often go around hearing people saying that the bank will not cheat, you know. So, but at this point in time, with what we see, I think when you look back again at investors who buy such products, they went in with that mindset that the bank was going to give them, you know, the advice, you know, and was trustworthy. Whatever they say, you know, they will take it at face value.
So
you mentioned about trust,
Yep.
So, which I think is a very important issue. Do you think the trust has been destroyed?
Well, that remains to be seen now that things have happened this way.
Yes.
We're waiting for the response from the banks.
Well, Mr. Tan, you have organised a petition at Speaker, you know, and spoke at Speaker's Corner, got 900 over signatures. What do some of these people, what have they told you?
Well, many of these people, they went to the bank or the finance company. Most of them were quite risk adverse because they put their money in fixed deposits. And then the bank staff told them, here is a good product, offer you higher interest rate, and it is quite safe. That's what the bank staff said. Of course, the investor will ask a bit more about how does this product work. And quite often, from what I hear from many of these people, they were told the money is put into these 6 or 8 solid companies, in the bonds of these companies, and therefore it's very safe. And that even if one fails, there's still another 5 more, you know. So they get the impression that the money are invested in bonds and they are well diversified. So therefore, I think most of these people were actually misled into thinking they are relatively safe. It was a big shock to them to find that the actual investments were very different from what they were led to believe.
Were they being naive, or is it the bank's fault? I mean, isn't it also up to them to be properly educated and to read the prospectus?
Well, it's very difficult to read the prospectus. The prospectus is together with the supporting documents is more than 100 pages, and even a financial expert who read the prospectus tell me he couldn't figure out what this is all about. So it's quite important that products should be explained in a way that is clear and not so complicated. Now, I have not heard of anyone who said they have read the prospectus and understood how it works.
Salim, did you read the prospectus?
Well, I had a chance to glance through the prospectus. Right. Indeed, it was more complex than your usual products that you see out there. Typically, consumers are aware of life insurance contracts and unit trusts. I think many of them are beginning to read those contracts, but I think for the structured notes, they are a fair bit more complex than that.
I think the one group that we have not talked about are the relationship managers.
Yep.
I think they are a key factor in this whole thing, you know, the way they sold the products.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that the relationship managers were being too aggressive?
Well, we have to first ask how they were instructed by the banks to sell these products. typically speaking, there is the Financial Advisors Act. And the reps has to go through the KYC process, know your client's process. They got to understand the client's needs, risk profile and objective before making a recommendation. And because this is a complex product, I believe they should have gone through that process and explained to the customer the complexity of the products. And most importantly, understand the objective and then make appropriate recommendation.
But you would have said that for all the people that you've spoken to, none of them fell into this category. None of them were actually properly explained and that they shouldn't be sold these products at all?
Well, I suspect that the relationship managers or the sales representatives themselves do not know the product.
Right.
It's so complicated. In fact, I think now that we know that the product is not what many people thought it was, I suspect that at the time of selling the products, the relationship managers didn't know what it was.
After the news broke and how the reaction has been, from the banks, from the regulator, what has been, because you are in the thick of this action, are you satisfied with the reaction of the banks and the regulator?
Well, I think first, it is a big surprise to so many people, the investors, and even to other people like me, to know that this product behave in this way is so risky. It's a big surprise. And of course, most of the investors, it was a big shock to see their hard-earned savings, their life savings, go up in smoke. Of course, it wasn't very clear how much they will lose. So there's a lot of concern. Now, the current arrangement is that they should complain to the distributor who sold the product. Now, many people try to lodge a complaint, and they were challenged to say, look, this is what we told you, you've signed this form. So they felt that it was a very difficult process. Now, this complaint mechanism of going to your distributor and then, if it's not resolved, to go to the Financial Dispute Resolution Center. This is meant for individual complaints, but it's not meant to have complaint that affects thousands of people.
What do you think we can do then to prevent a similar situation then?
Right now, we only have less than 1,000 complaints, and there are still so many people who doesn't know.
Right.
I think the MAS should set up a hotline and allow these people to register with them, because we are only tapping less than 10% of the
10,000 investors.
of the people who are affected.
But does that solve the problem, just setting up a hotline?
Well, you see,
what about they have practically lost their money, right?
I organized a petition, and the petition asked the government to check, to investigate, have an independent investigation whether certain laws were broken.
Okay.
You see, we have in Singapore what is called a caveat emptor, let the buyers beware. Now, of course, for caveat emptor to work, it's important that the product should be properly explained in a way that is fair to the consumers.
Salim, anything else you want to add about what we can do to help consumers?
I guess the consumer should be made aware of their rights.
Yes.
And under the Section 27 of the Financial Advisors Act, there is a requirement for the advisors, which is the companies, as well as the representative, to ensure a reasonable basis on advice given. Now, very often you find disclaimers in the sales process. And if these disclaimers tend to disclaim almost everything that was said by the representative, which caused you to want to buy the product, then I would suggest to you to think twice. If you want to allow the disclaimer to take away the rights that you have. So do ask for advice, do ensure that if these disclaimers are not comfortable to you, to strike them off, because you have a right, so that next time such a incident will not occur.
Thank you very